Alright, so today I'm going to be talking about a game called Wuppo, which is probably the coziest game I've ever played, and probably the most underrated game I've ever played if you don't include VR games. The game starts with you essentially being your average Discord moderator and living on the upper floor of a hotel, where you want to get ice cream, but instead of it getting served up to you like you usually do, you have to go downstairs of the hotel to grab it yourself. Once you get downstairs to pick up your ice cream, you have to wait in line at a receptionist desk. Now, up until I played this game, I'd only really played really boring and generic shit, so when I had to wait in line to get something, it just blew my mind with the realism, even though it's pretty basic. You make your way back to your room with the ice cream and you spill it everywhere, prompting you to get kicked out of the hotel and down to the forest below. Nothing much really happens in this forest besides you finding a fish, finding a parrot, finding a gun, killing the fish, finding a cult, and killing their god, and then going into a cave. Not much. In the process, we also learn about all the different types of creatures, the cities, and the lore. However, you don't get to explore any of the cities mentioned because you're stuck in a forest, but it does build ambition and hype for when you visit these areas in the game, knowing what they were from being told about them in the forest area, which is cool. Once you make it back to the hotel, you don't really like it anymore since you have a bad reputation there for spilling the ice cream, and you know about all these different cooler areas from the forest lore that you want to go visit. So your goal of the hotel chapter is to get a train ticket so you can get the fuck out of there. The best part about the hotel map is, well, the map itself, because it's really big and isn't very linear, unlike the forest. And there's a bunch of places you can go and a bunch of things to do. Now, basically, it's not very clear what you're supposed to do, that being getting the train ticket. So you just kind of have to mess about and take it slow, do a bunch of side missions, and hope one of them is the right mission or story mission you're supposed to do. Now, because of the multiple paths, this path in the game has a lot of player freedom. Some lets players get stuck on it for a couple seconds before, quickly beating the area, whilst others some multiple episodes on it. For me personally, I saved up my money throughout the forest, so I was able to buy one of the strongest guns in the game and easily solo all of the bosses. One thing the game does well is the wide range of environments, like an underground bunker, to an island, to the hotel and forest like we talked about. All of them just really give a feeling of journeys, like you've come all this way to get there, and the game gives us multiple vibes because of the multiple areas, so it all comes together for one big vibe which just feels really good. You know how I said how waiting in line was just the craziest shit for me back then? Well, imagine my brain when I had to go on the train area, which was literally just a train which you had to sit in for like a couple minutes as you went down to the city area, as well as there being a cafe stop on the way. That was just the coziest shit and kind of what made me like the game so much. And yeah, it's literally it. It's just a train. It's literally just a train. It's a train. It's a train. Speaking of the city area, next is the city area, which literally does everything the hotel did right, but 10 times better. There's a bunch of different locations to go to, like a town hall, a motel, a mining area, a shop, whatever. And in the mining area, you have the whole goal of the city area is to just raise money for the mining area so you can drill through the mines and get to the new area. That's a lot of areas. You've got a bunch of action and boss fights and chaotic things going down in the sewers. More lore stuff about the new area everyone's hyping up not actually being that good and maybe being just a scam. Some cool music like the ones playing right now, which kind of is symbolic for what's actually going on in the game, like the sewer music. It starts out all rough and dirty, really creepy, which indicates all the sewers and crazy shit going on down there, and then it switches to more uplifting, upbeat song which indicates the surface area. And yes, even more trains. It's painful. And yeah, I'm just gonna end the video here, even though there's a bunch more areas, plot twists, whatever. I'm just gonna not talk about them to encourage you to get the game yourself, because yeah, it's made by an indie developer and I want to support them, so buy the game.